Hi, I'm wondering if anybody else is here. I think I see there's a second person here. I want to share my screen if you're one of the tech people. I have a Excel spreadsheet and just a picture. If you're out there, you can see my rings and glasses. Hello, everybody. I am Gwen Riase from the U.S. Law School in Cleveland, Ohio, and I'm going to give people another minute or two to get onto the session here. I know we've got overlapping, not overlapping sessions, but people are leaving other sessions. I was in a great one on um, preparing for buying a house. Now, I'm a financial coach. I already own my house, but you can always pick up one or two more uh, tips here, a little idea there that I can share with my clients, or something I really didn't know that I can use myself. So I'm always looking for even one kernel of something that can help myself or others. Um, so I see a couple more people joining. If you can hear me, please just put in the chat a second. Let me know that you can hear me. I'm going to be sharing my screen in a minute after a brief intro. And with only 40 minutes, that I want to squeeze a lot into this workshop. It's called Shifting Your Finances into High Gear. So, Ms. Tyler, hello. Thank you for that confirmation, Victoria. I appreciate it. Um, I'm going to go ahead and start. Since this is recorded and you can always hear the whole thing later if you missed some of this. Uh, if you'll notice what I put in the chat box is go to gwenriase.com. Notice my name is spelled Riase. Although if you miss putting the A in there, you'll still get to gwenriase.com. I have a place there where you click on get the 3 documents that you'll need for today's workshop. And if you don't, that's not going to hurt anything. It's just helpful if you do have the ability to do a two-step confirmation. You're going to click on that button, give your name and your email address so that it automatically sends you the documents in an attachment. And then you can print them from there or at least get them from later. So with that being said, good morning again. I'm Gwen Riase from the U.S. Law School in sunny Cleveland, Ohio. I have packed in here. Look, I want to give you me on the phone for this, but I want to tell you a little bit about my background. I am an accredited financial coach and a financial fitness coach as well from the AFCPE, an organization that represents the highest in level of quality in financial coaching. And I said I'm from Cleveland. My degree is in broadcast journalism, though, and I actually have an Emmy for my research and writing. So when I research something, I research the heck out of it. And it kind of started from wanting to plan my wedding and have everything that I really dreamed of, but actually was getting sticker shock from it. And I found I'm not going to be able to do many of the things that were really important to me for my wedding. And I went out of my way to research. I went to libraries, I went to bookstores looking for books on wedding savings, and they weren't out there. So after I went through planning my wedding, and I was sleep deprived because I was also working on a special for Black History Month that was on Canadian Black history. So just across Lake Erie here is a lot of Canadian Black history, and it eventually won an Emmy. But in my sleep deprived state of researching and writing that 1 hour special, in addition to planning my wedding and all sorts of things, I thought if I wrote a letter to this show on ABC and I told them about what I was doing to save money on my wedding, maybe I'd be the 1 millionth letter that they received. This is when people still wrote letters back in 1990, 1988, actually. So I wrote this letter. I said all the things I was doing to save money on my wedding. Thought I was going to get a washer and dryer for the new house. No. Again, sleep deprived. This made sense. But the next day after I mailed the letter, and I thought, that is never going to happen. And I had sunlight hitting my skin and oxygen now coursing through my veins. That is the craziest thing that I could ever think could be possible. Well, I then forgot about this letter that I mailed. And in a couple of weeks, I get a call at work because I gave them all my contact information. I get a call at work from the producers at this show in Los Angeles. And they say, we're all kind of excited about your upcoming wedding. We want to work a series around you as you plan your wedding. Have you fly you out to LA to be on the show a couple of times, maybe 6, and cover a different element of wedding planning with each of those appearances. And then come to Cleveland, tape the wedding, and then have the big reveal afterwards that shows you had here's what happened. I had my mom, when she was alive, looked up relatives from all over the country, sent out postcards that said, my daughter's going to be on TV. Check your local listings. So in addition to 250 invited guests to our wedding, we had about 250 uninvited guests. But the long and short of it was that the wedding that would have cost about $25,000 actually ended up, with all the wedding saving things that we did, was less than $4,500 and change, including a honeymoon cruise. So very proud of myself. But what I did was interview other brides and grooms and wedding businesses on how to save money on weddings. So the first book that I wrote was called How to Have the Wedding of Your Dreams on a Nightmare Budget. Well, in learning how to actually sell the book and help clients with those things, I had to learn how to run a business. And where are your clients after they've read this book? They're now married. So how do you have the life of your dreams on a nightmare budget, which is what personal finance, financial literacy, money management really is. And so that's what launched what is now called the U.S. Wealth School. I have workshops, I do coaching, and my motto is no blame, no shame, no guilt about our money. Wherever we're starting is wherever we are. And whatever your financial goals are your financial goals. But what I provide is insight and information and tips and tools so that you can make your own decisions with confidence and actually make decisions that help your bottom line. So to that end, I am going to share with you a few tools. I know that the cover says 5 tools, but we only have enough time to cover 3 of the tools that will help you put your finances into high gear. So with that being said, I am going to share my screen. Pull up, I guess I'll share my screen first. My window, my examples. I know I'm talking through this. And hopefully you can see. I really wish I could see the comments alongside. Let me see if I make this smaller like this. If I can do this so I can still see the comments as we do that. Okay, I'm feeling better now. So what I am sharing with you is an Excel spreadsheet. I love Excel. Thank you, Bill Gates. And I'm going to talk about a spending plan. Now, a spending plan, many of you know the B word, the word budget. And I call it the B word because we use it in a negative way. We say, oh, I can't. I'm on a budget, as if that is a bad thing. What I want to propose to you is a budget, a spending plan is actually a power tool. It's where you know for every penny coming into your life, you know exactly where it's going. Good, bad, or indifferent. There should be some money for a line item for fun things that represent your values, donations. It could be tithing. It could be anything you want, but it needs to be reflected in your budget, in your spending plan. I said the B word. I'm sorry. I won't say it anymore. What I want to do, though, as before we go into that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for just a second, and I want to propose something to you. We're going to do this for a second. I have this cute little box that I love, Dollar Tree. And let's pretend that for each and every one of you, I have a box like this that I'll give you. And in this box is $1 million. Yes, I said $1 million. Now, I couldn't really fit $1 million in cash in this box. So it's going to have to be maybe a cashier's check or something like that, that you know it's $1 million. Or here's the choice. You can either take this $1 million now, or you can, we're going to do this for 30 days. The first day, I'm going to give you a penny. The second day, I'm going to double it so you'll have 2 pennies. The next day, I'll double what you have and you'll have 4 pennies. And then 8, and then 16 and 32, 64 cents. Whatever that ends up being in 30 days, you can keep. So here's my broadcast journalism voice. Ladies and gentlemen, you can either take the penny doubled for 30 days, or you can have this lovely $1 million right here and right now. Which would you choose? Now, if you're able to put it in the chat, tell me whether you take the $1 million now or the penny doubled. You may have heard this before. If you haven't, this is going to be brand new. And when I heard this, I didn't even believe it. So many of you say that penny doubled. A lot of people, honestly, if you could have that $1 million right now and chuck it under your arm like the Heisman Trophy and go, a lot of people really would take that $1 million. In general, most people are not doing the math. They just are going on a gut feeling. A penny doubled for 30 days, that couldn't be very much. Even at 10 days, you're maybe at $1,000. At 20 days, you might be at, I think, $12,000, something like that. But those last few days, here's what the answer is. In just 30 days, a penny doubled each of those 30 days ends up being $5.3 million. I didn't even believe that when I heard it. I heard nothing else from that workshop until I did 1 through 30 and added it up by hand during that workshop. But if I put together a commercial that says, it's your money, why wait now? Take your money now. A lot of people will take that money now. We know people that take the lump sum, choose the lump sum if they won the lottery. Maybe they have never won, but they'd rather take the lump sum and deal with anything else later. Here's the answer, though. If you would take the penny doubled, see, if I can talk you into the $1 million, I get to pocket 4.3 million. I can do that every day of the week and twice on Sunday. And so a number of you have it right. Many people guess this answer when I ask this question, give them that proposal. It's because they've never had it posed to them before. They've never actually realized that just because somebody says, hey, this is a great deal on this car, we're giving you the best offer possible for your savings, it may or may not be true. But if you don't know how to do the math, or you don't have someone you can take to look it over that you can trust, then you're not quite sure. You're just going on a gut reaction. So understand that just because someone says this is the best deal you're ever going to get for buying this house, getting this car, it's not necessarily true. So we're going to talk today about using some tools that you have seen before, but teaching you how to use them in a different way that's more effective, more beneficial to your bottom line. Sheila Town says, so will the IRS. Yes, the IRS will get their cut no matter what. They absolutely will. So I'm going to go back to sharing this spending plan for the people. I don't have a name for them. Let's say Mr. and Mrs. Smith, or Doesn't even have to be Mr. and Mrs. Smith. It could be a couple with 2 children. They live in the Midwest. They have a dog. One employer they make their take-home pay is $3,200 a month. The second income is $2,483 a month. So their total is $5,690. Now, I know I'm throwing a lot of numbers at you, but I want you to look at the big picture, the 30,000-foot view of what we're talking about. You're getting this document. If you go to gwenriase.com, there's this examples spending plan. And then there's also a blank one so that you can do this for your specific information, your reality. I'm going to go down here. I usually put house, cars. Those are usually the most important things that no matter what your income is, no matter what your lifestyle is, you're going to necessarily have house, car, insurance, renter's insurance, or house insurance if you've got a mortgage. Maybe you go to the gym. Maybe you have religious or donations that you do. It could be a percentage of what your income is, or it could be how much you can afford at the time. And going down, depending on where you work, there's always someone's birthday in the office and they're collecting. That counts. You have to account for every penny in your budget. I said it again, in your spending plan. So if you have kids, maybe there's a line item for allowance or a babysitter, pet sitter. Gasoline goes with the cars, depending on where you live. These people are in the Midwest, but as prices go up and down, this is a living, breathing document that you are working and changing. And that's why the formulas are already in Excel for this. Save the blank one as an original, and then make a copy of it as your first working spending plan. So I want to go to something here for a second on this 3-month debt list. Well, let me go to the debt list first. Hopefully you can see that. Please confirm. I'm just checking to see how many people are with me now, and I can't see it because this is here. Okay. It should come up in a second if you can't see it. I think there is a bit of a delay. So you should see the Excel spreadsheet because I'm sharing my screen. And this couple has 4 credit cards. They have a Capital One. They have a Discover. There's no balance on the Discover right now. The Navy Federal has about $2,700. Kohl's is $523 and some change. When you look at what the minimum payments are, and I can scroll down here, their minimum payments mean that they're paying $216 a month for, okay, my mouse is catching on pages I have next to me. Okay, back to the top. So they're paying more than $200 in just the minimum payment. But when you look at the interest, for every $125 payment, $95 is going to interest. And a lot of times we just look at, what do I owe this much this month? What is the minimum? And we pay it and send it off and think we're doing good. We are doing good because we paid them on time and we paid some of the money. But if only $30 is coming off of a $4,200 balance, think about that. $30 came off and you paid $125. We've got to stop the madness, people. So what we're going to do is look at this. Also, the fact that they're over the credit limit on this card. Their credit limit is $4,000 and they're at $4,268, which is more than 100%. Here's something that we don't often know. When you look at your credit limit, If you pay it off in full, on time, every month, whatever went on that card, and that's one of my rules, whatever goes on a credit card, you need to have in the spending plan to pay it off. And I'll go back to that in a second. You need to, nothing goes on a credit card. It's not free money. And obviously you can see it's costing you at 26.9%. This is a large interest rate. It's not outlandish. I think most people have something that is that rate. You may have lower, but if you have a late payment, maybe one late payment will be okay. 2 late payments may begin to jack that up. And you'll see this is due on the 10th. And since they're over their credit limit, often the interest rate gets higher. I'll come back to that in a second. For Discover, they've paid off their Discover, so that's a zero balance. Nothing is, they've got a $1,500 credit limit and their balance is zero. If you're between 0 and 20% of your credit limit, in which case $1,500, 1/5 of that is $300. If you stay under $300 on your credit card, your credit score will be the highest it can be. As you creep up towards 80%, this is that 20-80% that's in business, it's in so many things in life. As your balance creeps toward 80%, which in this case is, let's see, 4 times 5, 300 is 1,200. As you get toward 1,200, as the balance gets up, your score starts to float down. And if you get into that red zone between 80 and 100% of your credit limit, like this one, where the balance is 2,700 on a $3,000 credit limit, now your score plummets. It goes, your score really takes a dive. This Kohl's is $523 out of a $1,000 credit limit. So they're at just over 50%. So you want to get your balances down as soon as possible. But I'd like to take for a minute and show you a 3-month debt, looking at the last 3 months of what this couple is paying in debt. So we have what they paid, what was on this debt list right here. But the month before, they had a late fee. They had a late fee for that Capital One. So that's what that $40 charge is. That was in addition to the $95 in interest. The month before, not only did they have a late charge, but the balance went over. That's when the balance went over their credit limit, and they had an over the credit limit fee. If you're not familiar with that, they have fees for pretty much everything. So the minute you get at 100% or more of your credit limit, they have a fee in addition. So it's like sharks just circling in the water, smelling that blood and piling on that debt, so it's even harder to pay off. So we're going to talk strategically about paying this off in just a second. Their interest that previous month was $102.55, and the previous month before that, it was $128. So looking at, remember, they had a late fee on the Discover card, but they finally paid it off, and it's zero now. This is the interest from the previous 2 months on Discover. This is the interest from this current and previous 2 months on the Navy Federal and the Kohl's. So they didn't have late fees until last month. Something must have happened, but they did manage to pay off their Navy Federal, their Discover. And if you add up all of these, between the late fees here, and here, no late fees there, and the interest here, and here, in columns H, J, and L, $850 was lost in additional interest and fees that they owe these banks and other creditors just for having these balances. So if you don't know about having a financial coach and having someone look with fresh eyes on how this is working out and how to strategically and permanently even get out of debt, dig out of debt and stay out of debt, a financial coach can help you do that. And again, if they have no blame, no shame, no guilt as their motto, like I do, that's my trademark, so no one else is going to be able to tell you that. But it's time to stop the madness. $850, what type of Christmas would you have with an extra $850? What type of vacation could you have? Or digging out of debt means that all of those payments now get to stay in your pocket and get reallocated to something else. So this is a big thing. I wanted to bring this out. Are there any questions? Because I can see the, I clicked on that. Can you still see the Excel spreadsheet, but I can see the chat here. Any questions before I go on? Okay. Okay. If you think of something, I'll be looking over there. So one of the tools is having a spending plan where you know exactly where every penny is going. The other tool that we're going to look at is periodic bills. Periodic bills and goals. I used to just look at periodic bills, and then I thought, you know what? There's things that people want to do with their life that they need to share with, save for. If you have children and you want to go, you love parties, birthday parties, sweet 16 parties, graduation parties, whatever is, the keynote speaker talked about traditions in your house. Maybe having wonderful parties or family gatherings is important to you and your family. So you may need to save for that. Now, what I have for this couple is you'll notice, let me explain what this goals and periodic bills. It's kind of your own personal escrow account. If you've ever bought a house and you have that escrow account that's saving towards the yearly or 6-month insurance for the house, or for the property taxes are also included in your mortgage. So you have to put a certain amount away. They save it really nice for you in a little account so that when your property taxes are due, they have enough to put in there. And when your home insurance is due, they have enough to put away for pay for that. Well, this is your own escrow account. And if you're a member of AAA and you have to save, every year you have $120. I don't know if that's exactly what it is, but I think there's AAA Plus, and there's you and your significant other that may, or your children you may have on your account also. So if it's $120, say, this will divide by 12 months. All you need to save is $10 each month towards your AAA expenses. And maybe that's due in March. Sometimes people have their oil changed every 3 months, and that might cost $70. This couple had 2 cars. So $70.35 per oil change is not outlandish. And so every 3 months, they'll have the $70 if they save $23.33. So the formulas are already in here. What do I need to save for? In Ohio, 2 cars, the car tags are $65 a piece. That's only $10 a month. Maybe one birthday is in July, one birthday is in November. So you'll have the $65 you need by saving $10 a month. So this will add up all of the different things that you're saving for and tell you how much you need to save each month. Maybe it's out of two different pays. Maybe it's you have a lump sum payment of a pension or something else. So you can take that out off the top. It goes to another account. It's not mixed in with your regular checking account or savings account that you're paying your bills out of. Looking at this a little further, clothes, most of us wear them. You may not wear them. You may not buy clothes every month. Might be every 3 months, or if it's around school time the way it is now, you're buying new school clothes for your kids. They've had the growth spurt. It could be, I've had clients, I've worked with a lot of veterans, and I've worked with people that are returning citizens. Whatever your reality is, we have a spending plan you're going to create that works around your needs and your goals. I had a deacon once, and he needed a spending plan, a line item. It was like a couple of $100s every month so that he had his suits cleaned or buying new things, ties, pocket squares, things like that, so that he was looking good at a church service on Sunday. That was important to him. So we had a line item. If it's not every month, it goes on this spending plan periodic bills sheet. Okay. So you see periodic bills. This is everything that's not every month. The spending plan, if you have to pay for it every month, it needs to go here. We're going to go back to this in a second, but the periodic bills, maybe there are graduation gifts or birthday gifts. I had a client tell me that for Christmas, they spent $400 on every person, man, woman, and child in the family. There were grandkids included for Christmas. And I thought, my gosh, I was born in the wrong family, because I need to get where someone's spending $400 on me every month, every Christmas. That was amazing to me. Now, it didn't reflect my values, but it reflected theirs. So we had to work around what's important to them and get on a spending plan, those kind of things. So for this, that's $33 a month. All they did for birthday gifts between all the different people, this was only $400. The holiday gifts, the Christmas gifts, that was $2,000. They need to save $166.67 a month. Now, back to school fees. It used to be you're just buying clothes and that was it. Then they started saying, well, if mom and dad aren't going to buy the glue and the scissors and all the things that you need, we'll buy it. It's going to cost X number of dollars per child. For this couple, it's $400 that they have to pay in August. So they need to save $33.33 a month so that they have that. Now, right now, it's September. So they have a whole nother 11 months to save this $400. That's not going to be hard to do. This family vacation, though, maybe they want to take a vacation in June. And right now it is September. So they've got October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. They've got 8 months to save for that $1,500. They may need some deposits sooner, but notice if I change this to 8 months to save, instead of $125, this is going to be $187.50 that they need to save so that they have that in, what did we say, May? Okay. I'm going to change this back to 12 just for the sake of the example. But see how that did it automatically, and it would change the bottom line so that I don't even have to add and re-add, divide, and all sorts of things. Now, they have a dog, remember, probably going to the vet once a year, getting heartworm pills. I guess that's if you're a puppy, and flea dips and all sorts of things. Maybe the doctor's, the vet visit is $110. That's only $9.17 a month. That's way easier than going, oh my gosh, where am I going to get the extra 110 to pay the vet this month? And then maybe you get care credit. If you're not familiar with care credit is the credit card that your doctors conveniently offer you so they get paid on time and you can take time to pay it, only you're paying it with interest. So dentists, doctors, vets, anything medical for people, or for even eye doctor, dentists, they all use this care credit. Many of them do. So you may or may not have that extra bill. If you have it, it goes on your debt list, and we'll have to figure out how to pay all of these off strategically and then permanently. I put home decor in here because a lot of people love to enhance their home. I actually had to buy some ring lights so I could do this workshop from my home, and you could actually see me and make sure that I wasn't washed out. So if decorating your home by the season or by the event is important to you, you need a line item for that. If it's vacations, or notice I put in graduation gifts, you know whether in the coming year you've got 4 people graduating between elementary school and high school and college, or whatever is going on with your life, your neighborhood, you need to create a line item here. What is it? How much do I need? How many months do I have to save for it? And when do I need it is this last column. I actually had a client who, she said, I have the hardest time. Right now I'm in a little bit of debt because I like to decorate the yard, and I buy mulch to go around the flowers every other year. And it's about $240, and it really throws my budget into a tailspin. I can't afford it then, but I really want to do it. And so she put it on credit cards, or was overdrawn and had some other little issues. And I said, well, could you save, since you've just gotten it, could you save for the next 24 months, $10 a month, so that when you need the $240 for the mulch, you'd have it in this escrow account? And she said, I never even thought of that. I could save $10 really easy every month. That's a no-brainer. But she never thought of it in that kind of, oh, you can't see my slides? Man, I'm so sorry. Just seeing this, Maisha. Let me go back to this. And I thought I was sharing. I don't know how this works sometimes. I clicked on the hop in, and I think that's how this got off track. So are you with me now? This is in Excel, and it's one of the documents. If you go to gwenriase.com, you have a 2-step authentication for you to get these 3 documents. One is the kind of a place for notes. The second document is this examples spending plan of this couple and their life. But then the other one is a blank Excel spending plan with these formulas already in it, so that you can do this for yourself. Okay? Okay, wonderful. Thanks for keeping me honest, Miss Tyler. I'm thinking I'm showing you stuff and you can't even see it. So I apologize. So on to anything in your life is going to go either in the spending plan or it's going to be in the periodic bills sheet. Now notice when this adds up, the $577.50, that's all of these various things added up. It goes on the spending plan in this periodic bills, goals and periodic bills line. So if I would change something here, that number, that new number, would need to go in the spending plan here. And it automatically adds up. We said that these people have $56.90 coming in. That's their take home. They only have 67.50 left after all of that. But if you look, they've actually saved for all of the things that are important to them, even though they only have $67 left as far as free unclaimed money. Notice I put in here pocket change. A lot of people forget just having $20 in your pocket when you walk out in the morning. When you leave, when you come back, you've got less. But was that the coffee that you bought on the way to work or gas that you got? That's accounted for. Remember, we have gas and groceries. If it comes out of your money, it's here. It should be here. Here's gasoline. Eating out, though, that's that coffee on the way to work, or bringing home food at the end of the day. If you're not working from home, it's bringing home food or ordering food in that's not coming out of the groceries that you are buying, right? And cooking at home. For me as a coach, if I'm able to meet somebody in person, I do work with people all over the country, but if they're local, I like to see them face to face. It's a whole different, it's just as effective, but it's even better in person. And so if I am meeting someone at 2 o'clock and I have somebody else that is at 6 o'clock, and that's both out of the house, then I'm probably going to grab some light dinner in between those two sessions. And that means I have to have a budget, the B word. I have to have a plan for spending, and it's eating out. These are two sides of the same coin. If I ate out one day, I wasn't home cooking food from the grocery bill. So to me, this is not I've had people who think eating out is terrible. We never eat out. Well, that's fine. That's fine for their way of living. For me and my family, we like to eat out. My husband and I love to do a Sunday brunch. So that's in our spending plan. We have money for it. And if we didn't, we'd be saving money somewhere else so that we have money for that. We've been married 33 years. It's working. It ain't broke. So we haven't always had Sunday brunch. When he was working, now he's retired. So now we have Sundays available. So enough about me. Pocket change is an important thing. That can be a budget buster. Oh, B word. It can be a deal breaker because this is just, my parents called it chewing gum money. It's, if you wanted to give money to someone that was on the street asking for money, that's fine. It's in the budget to do that. If I wanted to do whatever, I've got $80. That's only $20 a week. If I used $5 a day, that's going to eat up that $20 easily. That's that $80. But it's not the coffee fund money from the office. It's not gasoline. There's a line item for all of this. This is mad money. It's unclaimed. It's okay if I spend it. I earned it, so I can have that much fun. If I wanted to have more fun, I'd change that number and I'd take money from somewhere else. Let me show you something though. I'm going back to the debt list. Now, there's 67 extra dollars. Remember, we have pocket change. This is showing us here what we're paying. I've got, this couple has three balances still to pay off, and they have a $67.50 in extra money. So I'm going to go back to the debt list where Capital One is only asking for $125 and Navy Federal is asking for $68 and $23 for Kohl's. Could I add the 60 some dollars to the Kohl's $23? That adds up to almost $90. and still pay the minimums on all of these for right now and get this paid off in about 6 months. Now, the $90 that I was putting toward this, I can add to the 68. Now I'm paying about 158, 168. Now that's going to turbocharge my payments to get the Navy Federal down. Now I have this in a spreadsheet. I didn't create it. It gets a little, I want to just throw a lot of numbers at you. I want you to see the big picture here. If you get a refund for income tax refund, or Aunt Mary leaves some money to you, maybe you've got a hierarchy of what's important to attack before you just say, I'm buying a car, I'm buying a house. When people are in line at the, I told you my background is journalism and television and radio. I used to be the person that they would send on public square at high noon in Cleveland, Ohio, and say, hi, such and such is the topic of the day. What are your thoughts? And so if there's ever a big lottery prize, you see those the ads or the news stories that say, what would you do if you won the $43 million? And I'd buy my mom a house. I'd buy a house. I'd buy a house for my dad. I'd buy a car. I'd buy my mom a car. I'd buy my dad a car. My sisters and brothers. Everybody gets something. And if you have ever paid attention to the follow-up stories of the people that actually won the money, a year or two later, they've got nothing. Or people swindled them out of the money. Or people have killed them for the money. And so, I don't know, I kind of subscribe to the quiet millionaire. I know I don't look like a millionaire. I'm not a millionaire just yet. But I'm not going to be that flamboyant one. I don't want to be the one they pick out of a crowd and say, that's the one we're going to get. That's just my way of living. What I want to give for people is, and now that we've met, you're my people. I want you to keep in touch with me. If I can help you, we can coach together and get rid of the debt. Now you can add it to something else that fulfills your life. I know there are a lot of churches that wish that they could get the 10% tithing from their members. And it's not that they don't want to, it's that we are prey literally to all of the things that separate us from our money. So if we can get out of debt and start to reallocate to things that enrich our lives, then we can have the life that we really want. That's what I want for you. If we've met, you're my people now. I'm counting on you. So I lost my train of thought. We've covered the spending plan. We've covered the periodic bills and the fact that nothing in your life, well, I guess the positive way of that is everything in your life needs to either be on the periodic bills, goals and periodic bills sheet, or on the spending plan. And this is a living, breathing document. If you get, let's say that their income, they get a raise and they now have, I don't know, let's say $3,700 that they get. That increases, that's per month. So now they've got an extra $560 a month. What do you do with that? That's not just, hey, it might be. For the first month, maybe you do that. Hey, I've got a raise. Let's do something fun. But now let's get back to our goals on maybe it's paying this debt. That's a big thing for me because remember, they were paying $800 some over 3 months just in fees, penalties, and interest. So maybe an extra $500 a month means I'm turbocharging what I'm paying this and then this. Now notice, I have to apologize. I'm at the age where I get excited and I sweat. It's embarrassing, but this isn't too important for me not to do. So notice that I didn't say half of the 500 goes to, or a third goes to the Navy Federal. We'll say half. Half goes to Navy Federal and half goes to Capital One, because remember, we already paid off the Kohl's with our other scenario. If you only pay part of it, I'm saying throw everything you can at, in this case, the next one on the list is Navy Federal. An extra $500 means this is going to get paid down in 5 or 6 months, right? With that raise. And then you add that 500 to this. Now I'm paying 625 plus whatever these were. You're adding that whole amount and throwing it at this Capital One. That's how you strategically and, yes, permanently get out of debt. Remember, if you use your card, see, they've calculated all this interest, this payment. If you don't use your card another time, it's still going to take you 20 to 23 years to pay this off, because only $30 is coming off of the actual principal. That's mind-blowing to me. But it's legal, and it gives us time. What we think is, gee, I don't have $4,200. I'll just take payments and I'll pay it off as soon as I can. But I only owe 125. So that's all maybe I paid 130. I paid extra. But again, only $30 or $35 is coming off of this at that interest rate. So we need to be strategic and purposeful about how we pay our debt. I think usually the biggest bang for the buck is paying off the smaller balances so that that total gets added to the next one. And you're paying the minimums on anything else till this is paid off. And then that whole $90 gets paid in addition to this. That's $225 or $215. Attacking this with everything you've got until that's paid off. So there's a shift in your mind in how we do this debt. Also, if you use this card at all, remember this was the starting amount. Let's say you bought something for another $30 that month at Kohl's. Then I need to pay the $30 for the new purchase as well as the $23 that was the minimum to get this down. Okay? So I'm paying $53 because the plan was originally $30, but I added that extra this month. I bought something. I could have paid cash for it. But since you didn't, if you add that extra 30 to pay that down, now I'm not behind the game. See, they want you to use your cards over and over. Yes, that's fine. But you have to be able to pay it off in full on time every month. And we can get you there if we're purposeful and strategic about it. So I want to say, let's see, I hope I'm not out of time. If you go to gwenriase.com, you can email me there also. It's gwen@uswealthschool.com, but it's easier just to remember gwenriase.com and go there. How much more time do I have, Maisha? You're the person in the know. Am I past my time? Oh, I hope I haven't gone over. If I have, I apologize. But go to gwenriase.com, get these documents, learn how to create your own spending plan. If I can be of help, please contact me, and I will be in the expo after this. So thank you very much. I'm no longer sharing my screen. Oh boy, there I am. So thank you very much. and I'm going to sign off. Over and out.